superficial region, the dermis, which underlies the epidermis, and the hypodermis, which is below the dermis, which is a subcutaneous layer that is deep to the skin. The epidermis is made out of epithelial tissue and stratified squamous. The dermis contains most fibrous connective tissue, including both areolar and dense irregular. The hypodermis contains mostly adipose and connects to some muscle. The four cells typically found in the epidermis are the keratinocytes, melanocytes, dendritic cells, and the tactile cells. The keratinocytes produce fibrous protein known as keratin, continuously dividing because of mitosis, and they die and fill with keratin as they reach the surface. The melanocytes are up to 25% of deep epidermis cells that are spider-shaped, producing pigment known as melanin, while protecting apical surface from keratinocyte nucleus from UV damage. The dendritic cells arise from bone marrow with macrophages that are key activators of the immune system. The tactile cells are located where the epidermis and the dermis meet. They associate with nerve endings to create the Merkel disc, and they are sensory touch receptors. Keratinocytes will die and fill with keratin as they reach the surface. The cells start at the bottom deep layer called stratum basal, where it pushes dividing cells to the next layer. Then they move up to the stratum spinosum, which contains several layers of thick skin. Stratum granulosum is next, which is mostly thick skin. Stratum lucidum is a layer where cells divide only in thick skin. Then they will reach the most superficial layer, named the stratum corneum. Thick skin is an area of high abrasion located on the palms, fingertips, and soles of feet, while thin skin is on the rest of the body that misses the stratum lucidum. Next, the dermis is made of two layers, the papillary superficial layer and the reticular deep layer. The papillary layer is the areolar connective tissue with collagen and elastic fibers with blood vessels, and there is loose tissue for patrolling microorganisms. The reticular layer is 80% of dermal thickness, containing irregular dense connective tissue that is nourished by cutaneous plexus. The elastic fibers provide stretch recoil, and collagen fibers providing strength, resiliency, binding water, and preventing jabs or scrapes from penetrating the dermis. The dermal papillae is in the papillary layer, which contains superficial peg-like projections sticking into and above the dermis. They contain capillary loops, touch receptors, and free nerve endings. In thick skin, they are atop dermal ridges, which cause epidermal ridges, which are collectively known as friction ridges, that enhance gripping ability, contributing to sense of touch and patterns of fingerprints. Flexure lines are dermal folds at or near joints, tightly secured to deeper structures, so skin cannot slide easily for joint movement, causing deep creases that is seen in hands, wrists, fingers, soles, and toes. Blisters are created by acute short-term trauma such as heat and friction. It is a fluid-filled pocket separating epidermal and dermal layers. Melanin is a sun-stimulated reddish-yellow or brown-black that is created by genetics to produce melanocytes. Freckles and pigmented moles may occur from this. Carotene is a yellow-orange pigment seen in palms and soles that accumulates stratum corneum and epidermis that can convert vitamin A for vision and epidermal health. Hemoglobin is a pinkish hue of fair skin and red blood cells of the dermal layer. They are similar by being activated by consumption or absorption. There are differences by causing different colors. Some skin diagnoses are bronzing with inadequate steroid hormones and Addison disease with the adrenal gland effect. Bruises are caused by clotted blood beneath the skin. Paler disease is known as going pale, by pulling blood to the core from anemia, low blood pressure, fear, or anger.
Skin appendages. Hair. Hair is located in the epidermis and the dermis. We have it because it protects our hair from physical trauma, heat loss, and sunlight. It also is more durable than soft keratin skin. It is not in palms, soles, lips, nipples, and portions of the external genitalia. These are the two main microscopic part of the hair. It is the hair shaft and the hair roots. Your hair shaft is above and is practically into the skin. The hair root is deep in the follicle. The difference in texture between people is texture is determined by genetics. Flat is kinky hair, which is curls more. Oval is silky, and wavy around is straight to the course. The three microscopic layers of hair is the medulla. It's in the middle. It's large cells and it has air pockets. It has soft keratin and is not present in fine hairs. At the cortex, it surrounds the medulla. The cuticle is the almost layer, single layer of overlapping cells, so hair doesn't mat. Whereas way at the tip, exposing the cortex and medulla. The medulla is the deepest layer of the hair shaft. They're only seen in large and thick hairs. The cortex is the middle layer of the hair shaft, provides strength, color, and texture of a hair fiber. The cuticle, the outermost layer of the hair shaft, is thin and colorless. Hair follicle. Hair follicle is a tube-like structure that surrounds the root and strand of hair. It is in the upper reticular dermis and it extends from the epidermal surface to the dermis. It's a two-layer wall. In the hair follicle, you have four things. It's a hair bulb, a hair matrix, a hair papilla, and an erector pili muscle. The hair bulb is a living part of hair is expanded deep in its sensory nerves endings and touch receptors. The hair matrix is one layer actively dividing area. Hair papilla is dermal tissue, and its blood helps blood supply for nutrients. It also signals hair growth. The erector pili muscle is smooth muscle inventory attached to the follicle. It's also responsible for goosebumps. Types of hair. The difference between vellus and terminal hair. Vellus hair is the body of children. And adult females. Terminal hair is long hair of eyebrows and scalp, pubic regions of both sexes, and face and neck of males. Hair loss. Hair loss. Something about hair loss is like alopecia, hair thinning in both sexes after 40. Nails. And why do we have them? Nails are for tools to pick up and scratch, contain hard keratin, and also protective cover for distal dorsal surface of fingers and toes. Nails and the parts. Nails have nail bed, nail matrix, the lunar nail folds. Nail bed is the deep layer skin beneath the nail plate. Nerves and blood vessels found here supplies nourishment to the entire nail unit. The nail matrix is proximally responsible for growth, area where fingernails, toenails grow, creates new skin, pushes out the old dead skin cells to make your nails. The nail is a little moon, thick white crescent over nail matrix. The visible portion of the distal nail matrix that extends beyond the proximal nail fold. It is white and half moon shaped. The nail fold are soft tissue structures that protect the lateral and proximal edges of the nail plate. The proximal nail fold protects most of the nail matrix from trauma. Also, the proximal fold is cuticle equals cuticle. It is quick is where dirt covers collate. It's also the high pony chum. Sweat glands. The real name for sweat glands is pseudopherius. It's located in all skin surfaces except nipples and parts of the external genitalia. The functional location for the two main types of sweat glands. One of them is eccrine. Its location is palm, soles, forehead, and armpits, and stop heat loss. It helps to maintain primarily by stabilizing body temperature. Apocrine produces and secrete a fat sweat. Its location is armpits and forehead. The function may act as a sexual scent gland.
The sebaceous glands. The sebaceous glands are found attached to the hair follicle and release oils into the hair follicle. These glands are everywhere but the thick skin on palms and soles. The amount of the glands vary depending on where in the body they lie. Most of the sebaceous glands secrete in hair follicles, and they secrete sebum that softens hair and skin and kills bacteria. These glands mostly show no activity until puberty. Acne is the inflammation of the sebaceous gland that forms a pimple on the skin surface made from bacteria. Functions of the integumentary system. 3 of the 6 functions include protection, body temperature regulation, and metabolic functions. The body works the best at a certain temperature, and body temperature regulation makes sure this happens by sweating, cooling down the body. An example of the body temperature regulation excretion is when you run, you release sweat glands, both eccrine and apocrine. Eccrine sweat glands go along with the body temperature regulation, helping your body cool down as your temperature rises. You also excrete apocrine sweat, that is, the odor you release. The skin has 3 different protection barriers that include chemical, physical, and biological. There are 3 types of skin cancer. Basal cell carcinoma is the most common type and does not spread. This can appear on the face and look like a shiny circle with a pit in the middle. It can be surgically cut out. Squamous cell carcinoma is the second most common type and is often found on the head. It spreads quickly and appears to be scaly and red. Its treatments consist of radiation therapy or removed surgically. Melanoma is the most dangerous type of skin cancer and can spread the fastest across the body and can appear to have the ABC rule: asymmetrical, border, color, and diameter. Treatment can be done surgically with immunotherapy. ABCD rule can help with early detection so cancer does not spread across the body and becomes harder to treat. When talking about burns, there are 3 types: first, second, and third. First degree burns only damage the epidermis and consist of redness, swelling, and pain. Second degree burns damage the epidermis, and epidermal damage includes blisters. Third degree burns, the entire skin is damaged, the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. The skin turns gray, white, red, or blackened. It is not painful due to nerve endings being destroyed. The rule of nines is used to evaluate burns and estimate the volume of fluid loss. The body is split into 11 parts and each part takes up 9%, except the genital area that is 1%. The anterior and posterior of the body is 4.5%.